And we're live.
We're rolling? Okay,
Right.
cool. Everybody, welcome to Various Fields. My name is Lexington Malcolm Fields.
I'm Hazen Fields II.
I'm Hazen Fields III. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
And I wanted to call this episode 0. I think we're all cool with calling this episode 0.
Yes, yes,
0.0.
0.0. The idea so far is for us to just kind of get comfortable. Has anyone here, real quick, done a podcast before or done anything podcasting related?
Never.
Nope, not even once. I know you had something similar.
Very small like stuff, but this is like first off, all of us doing that family together.
Absolutely.
And then so this is very much what do you want to call this? Just our first time running into it, hitting the ground running.
Launching pad. So we're hoping that we can draw you guys in. We're going to give you a little bit about what we're doing and why we're doing it. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we go around the room?
Sure.
And let's start with the youngest guy first. Why don't you tell him a little bit about yourself?
All right, cool. As I said earlier, I'm Lexington Fields. I like comics. I got that from my dad. I got that from my older brother. We're all some version of nerds, whatever the term is. Like comics, like video games, media. I do videography, multimedia, stuff like that. Let's see. We're all initially I was born in Queens. So I think we're all from the city. Moved up to upstate. I've been upstate in Albany more or less my whole life. So how long have I been here? General state.
Well, you've been upstate. I think you got up here when you were about 5 or something.
Yeah. So I'm a real New Yorker.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's that. I feel like it's what's funny. That's a good, very basic intros. Favorite colors, purple. I like waffles, things like that. But I just realized as we're talking about ourselves, what's one thing that you would say about me that you just as my pops or same thing as my brother, you would say about me, like a feature of me?
All right. Well, we're going to go the physical way. Very, very tall.
I'm tall.
I'm not exactly sure how you got so tall. Me and my Trey, we're not as tall.
7'8". This table does a lot of work.
Well, I don't think it's quite 7'8", but it's
8'6".
Okay, that's true. Very tall guy, but a very warm, just a loving brother, loving son. I admire his passion. When you were growing up, it was a little frustrating because I didn't know what his passion was, and one day he kind of had said that he had a passion for doing movies and stuff like that, and I never saw any indication of it. It wasn't like he picked up a camera, and it was like he told me as a little guy, he says he wanted to do it right because I was always like I'm always jump in and get it done. So I was like, well, don't you just want to practice doing it? And he says, no, I want to go to school first and do it right and get it done right before I even do anything. So I admire that because he's stuck to his guns from a little guy, and now you're doing what you like. So.
I appreciate that. It's awesome. That's a cool, different kind of perspective kind of thing. You can just go right down the line.
Yeah. Well, let me find out what do you think about your brother?
He's also very tall in my eyes, so I guess that was the thing you took.
11'9".
At least.
Getting tall above me.
But yeah, no, I do love his tenacity. I love the fact that, even when a plan may not go according to what might be designed, he will always find a way around or try to find a way through to get to an objective that he's already had in mind. So I appreciate that from him.
I realized this backfired a little bit. I thought we'd get random features and stuff. This became a lot more wholesome than I thought it'd be. It looks like I'm fishing for compliments. That was not the intention.
No, we're not doing it.
No, I know. I appreciate it.
But I think everybody needs to know a little bit about us because we're just jumping into their rooms. And in fact, I started off by saying good morning. I have no idea what time you're going to be watching this.
Good noon. Good
general
good
day.
Time to you. Good time to you.
Good day, everyone. Something like that. We have no idea what we're going to do. But I think it's good for people to find out, our perspective, what we think on the inside.
Speaking of perspectives, Dad, that was a bad transition.
Okay, let's do something. Go ahead.
All right, so we all moved up here in the area roughly at the same exact time. Originally coming from the big city, we're in a smaller capital region area, but now, I don't know, just I myself, I like drawing, I love writing, I love everything that is on, not so much the back end of what goes into media, but more the fact of when I see an anime, for an example, and I appreciate or any type of animation, I appreciate the dedication to a work or a craft that people don't immediately think about, like the illustrations time and time again, the one by one frames in a cartoon that would have been painstakingly drawn to get you a very smooth scene. So I appreciate that, and I love being able to do anything that regarding character creation or like character development, right? Just following a story, not just for the sake of like, oh, there was action and violence, but more the fact of seeing the transition from where the character began to how they are at the end of a show, right? Talks a lot about the love of a craft, because it's not just words on paper, but how it moves an audience into understanding what was intangible initially, stuck in the mind, and now it can be physically brought to you live here. No,
that was cool. I felt you ramp up as you talk. That was cool.
Thank you. I mean, I'm
like
a
your
slow.
anime. Yeah.
I'm like a slow climb and like a roller coaster ride from time to time. So that's what it is. I appreciate every author, writer, illustrator that's out there, because normally everyone's saying like, oh my gosh, that's a cool show. I can't believe this character did this. And yet always people have to remember that character did not exist until someone put it to paper. Right. So I appreciate all of that.
Okay. Well, what impressions of your brother?
Yeah. It's funny because like as he's talking about, myself and my brother, we always created stories together, or what it is like those imaginative games that you play when you're kids. You make imaginary stories, and we've always done that. Right. And it's really cool that like in different ways, but with Trey, he's obviously my older brother, but there's a picture that we have in the house. I would love to at some point, but you've always seen just so mature and just so well put together all the time.
You call me the old one.
You were old when you were born. You were old. There's a picture of like you as a baby, like next to a library, but like look like Napoleon. But no,
I was set up.
It's appreciated. It's appreciated. Like it's. I'm saying this as a younger brother, but also I've seen other people who flock around you, and I see how many people like just rely on your energy because you have such a stable energy, and I think that shows both through your writing, how much you like character creation, because that level of depth that's not how people think of things. Some people just watch stuff, they like it, and you're like, there's a world here, I can write more here. Me and you talked just the other day about like, one world we like a lot was like Sonic, and then Brooklyn Nine-Nine stuff, and like how we put those in, those are like completely different genres.
Right.
And then just like the idea of putting those two together and be like, riffing off of that. So like just that creative mind that we all have, but the creative mind I know is definitely inspired from you. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen.
And you look like my dad.
A little bit. I've heard that a couple of times. Yeah. It's funny. When Trey was the firstborn, and that was an amazing thing for me to see a child born. And technically, when a child is born, you're going to see, but I in my brain, it's like, I thought you're supposed to like spray them off first and you see them formulate like, there it is, a baby boy. But no, he just came out and his eyes were looking all over the place. And, he was very alert,
Assessing. Where am I?
Whether you want to go back. I don't like the surroundings. I'm out of here, But, he was always kind of alert and he did have an old soul. I think I got into a particular restaurant.
You have your out of frame.
All right. Do you need to move over somewhere? Yeah. So
am I good right there? Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to our tech staff. We have Mr. Magic, John over there. Let's give some hands for him over there. There he is. And he's the overall just guy getting us in here. And then we have Nels on the camera. Let's hear. We're doing this from onlywayoutstudios.com. And listen, if you like what you're seeing here, please hit the like and or subscribe. Please, because we're going to bring you more of this. We're going to continue giving you a little synopsis of each one of us and what we're about and who we are.
You can't get rid of us.
Yeah, and listen, and we're hoping that we can invite you into the family, the Fields family. The name of the show once again is Various Fields. But we were talking about, I call him Trey, because he's the third, so you get it, Trey. So we call him Trey. Family members call him Trey, and Trey has always been a very old soul. Very mature. But I guess he had to be because he was the situation, because I don't know, I think I have a very tough fathering style. Would you say that?
A bit.
What would you guys say?
I mean,
just a tad. just a little bit.
Something like that.
I think times have changed, so it would be considered tougher now.
Tougher But anyway, always has been very thoughtful. Always, wanted to. And Lexington always protected his brother. If Trey went out of line or something like that, it used to be frustrating because two things were frustrating in raising these two guys.
Thanks.
He would, if Trey did something, Lexington would always be his lawyer. It doesn't matter. It's like I would try to, say something to Trey, correct him. Here comes this guy, and I would always tell him, listen, if you guys are going to, I always believed in if, in fact, you're going to refute something, I said, you just come back smart. You tell me what, because otherwise, the second time around, we're going to have some issues with it if you're going to come back again. But these guys were always very, very close, and I see that they're close now.
In my defense, I was trying to pass the bar.
Honestly.
And they always did this game. They were talking about my pushing style was always like, make something up, do something. And they have these wonderful imaginations in terms of making up characters. And it was like they have a world that's larger to me, I think, than the Marvel Comics group, And they have so many characters. But I was like do something. But it was their way to communicate, and it was a way to make them closer in this and that. So I'm very proud of both of them. Both of them. So a little bit about myself.
Absolutely, because you're the one who kind of like spearheaded all of this.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that, Dad. We appreciate you.
Welcome. I appreciate y'all both. But for me, I've been doing theater all my life, and music and gospel music in particular, and writing and singing, and and that's my desire and my love and my passion. But I also work in the field with some very special people that we support them as they better themselves and and objectives and goals. So I do that during the week, but I also do some computer work. And so when you guys got old enough, I said, okay, it's time for me to try to stretch out and do some of the things I want to do. So I've kind of been stretching out more now in the theater genre. And I've been very blessed to participate with some great theater groups here in the Capital District area. The Black Theater Troupe, Park Playhouse, Capitol Repertory Theater. So I'm able to do a lot of shows and stuff like that and so forth, and they, a little bit more. So that's my passion right now, so now the podcast, was something like I thought was the next thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like, we have a lot of, my mother and my father, very much like where you grew up with us. Right. I grew up with my mother and my father, and they were very instrumental in making me and my sisters, I have three sisters, and the youngest of the three sisters is now transitioned into heaven there, and we miss her, Sloan, and Portia, Michelle, and Sloan are my sisters. And, and Milton and Sadie was my mother and my father, and they were really the basis of us having self-confidence and things of the nature and doing music, and they were very instrumental. So this is kind of dedicated to the family at large. And my father would always say this, and he would say, we don't know nothing. Mm-hmm. And I used to be frustrated by that as a kid because it was like, what do you mean?
It frustrated me when you told me that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I tried to pass on that frustration.
Oh, that's smart. That's the way to do it.
You got to have a legacy,
that
right?
Sense, yeah.
Heritage. Here's your heirloom. Frustration for you. So, but truthfully, I see so many people on, TikTok, and I know I'm getting older because I put the word "the" in front of everything. You see people on the TikTok and
Facebook,
the Instagram, on the Facebook,
the X.
Yeah, the X, the X, and everybody has very strong opinions, and they know without a shadow of a doubt exactly what the everything is.
Right.
And I don't believe that's how general people think. There's people that believe they know.
Right.
And having that. So I really want us to have our basis of operation at various fields is we don't know nothing. We're here. We have an opinion. We have a strong film.
Yeah.
And when we have when we discuss a topic, wherever it is, we're going to give you our opinion, and hopefully in the future we'll have some guests. And I know I kind of merged into the why are we doing this?
No, that works.
That works perfect.
So because I think I told a little bit about myself, but the why is everybody, and I'm telling anybody, anywhere that's listening to this, if you have a passion or a goal, we may not necessarily be representing the best of the best at episode 00, but, we're going towards that. And any goal, anything that you want to do, you got to start. You got to make a step.
In fact, the way to best know is that, like, the first thing you do doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be good. It just make sure that you start. And a good way to say that is, can I get a time check? Do you know how long we've
I don't know.
We're
How
at
much
15
time?
minutes.
15 minutes?
How much more time we have?
If you got plenty of time. So a good way to do that is that technically you're not supposed to do that.
No, is that-
You're not
okay,
supposed to.
that's
I just broke the fourth wall.
No, that's
I had
fine.
them rush over here.
I like
It's
that.
fair now.
I
We
like
don't know
that.
what we're doing.
We don't.
Live, we don't know what we're doing.
That's it.
Live.
We don't know what we're doing live.
Welcome to not knowing what we're
We're
doing.
dumb currently. Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, but essentially that's what it is. But guess what? We'll start to learn, and we'll get better at it, or not.
right.
But the point is,
We intend to make every mistake on camera just for your learning experience.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's right. Watch us and learn how to do what we don't do, or do what we should do. I don't know.
There's a difference
then you know
between
what they
pie
say.
in the face and egg in the face.
Right.
We'll discover the difference next time.
If
Okay.
you know what to say. If you fail, you try.
Try. Okay.
Oh, he's
all
breaking
right,
the.
okay,
But
I get it.
that
You're
makes-
trying me. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have a friend in the area. I'll put his name. Are we allowed to say friends' names?
We can bleep it.
We can just,
Why don't we just say,
I think we should be very careful.
Okay, all right.
Well,
call him Heath.
all right. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. If people that know him, you'll know he's a big, strong guy, bald head. But he's a exercise guru.
Dwayne the
You
Rock
know who
Johnson.
we're talking about.
Absolutely.
No, it's Dwayne. No,
Dwayne The Rock
but
Johnson, yeah.
he would say, in football they tell you to fall forward. Now I don't want anyone to think I know anything about sports. I am so non-sports, but I like the sports metaphor of gaining more yardage by falling forward. So whatever we fall, however you fall, anything you do, fall forward. So you're getting up further on the field. Yeah, is it a field, right?
Make a home run goal.
The various fields.
Various fields,
Right.
if you start, you'll fall further down the lane. Man, I really don't know sports. Is it a lane? What are they running on a field, right? Field. What's it? Grid.
Call it the Iron Grid. Right?
The Iron Grid. Iron
That's
Grid.
it.
See, now he's...
That sounds like Mad Max. I actually did not know.
He's-
I was joking about not knowing.
my
I didn't know it's
God.
called the Iron Grid.
Yeah. Well, I am
Welcome
so
to the Iron Grid.
I am so non-sports. I feel horrible. I used to have other friends that I would ask them, tell me something about the sports arena so I can join.
Sports arena.
So I can join in the conversation.
Tell me something about ball and stick.
so I would say they would just say Reggie Jackson did good this year. Yeah, Reggie Jackson did. He did a wonderful job this year. Then I'd flip it. Yeah, this year Reggie Jackson did a great job. You know who did a great job? Reggie Jackson. He did it this year. Just flip it around. and try to look
He
like
survived 3 years with
That's
that.
the best way.
So
I think that's
it.
the best way to do it. Like, if anyone, because it was also passed down. I don't think maybe Trey knows the best about sports. But
Not even close.
Not even. The best thing to do is like if someone asks you about the game, you're like, "Oh, did you see the game last night?" And they're like, "Oh, I did see the game." And they're like, "What?" And you just figure out the talking points from what they say. That's how I always do it. It's like, "Oh man, did you see that slam dunk?" Now I know they're talking basketball. Oh my gosh, that slam dunk! They had crazy defense.
Right.
A lot of sports have defense. You gotta land into it. Like, oh my god, the defense. You just hands are waiting. Like, oh my god, that game was.
We are clearly not sports.
We're not sports people at all. So anything sports, we're interested in talking about anything, but I have a tendency to extrapolate from the sports things, either metaphors for life or,
Right.
which is not necessarily what anybody wants to do when they're hyped about a game. Isn't winning not exactly everything, but it's just a part of a thing. It's like, they want to throw a mud pie at you or something. But yeah.
I was thinking of just because you almost slid on it. We still have to talk about like our impressions of you because you did it slick. You did it slick. You're trying to get right into
right
it.
through it. Yeah.
You can do it.
Well, thank you for joining us, and this has been the End of Various Fields. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Trey, you want to go first? Or
Absolutely. Well, as you can see from this little take right here, my father, despite his amass amounts of talent that he brings to every table that he walks into, he is a very humble dude, right? And he can't say that because I'll defeat the point of humility.
The most humble man in the world.
I got a humble award for the Humble Society.
So I mean, that's I think is not the staple of his character because he's a lot. He's our father. He's literally no. He is a lot, but like at the same time, he has fit every role that was necessary for our upbringing. So there's not enough that I could say about my father that would actually encompass what he is, right? But to everyone else that he's known around, everyone knows him by name, right? I think he was running for mayor at one point in time when tried. But there was a lot of people that would very much appreciate his help in whatever he did, right? And I mean, he's worn many hats, and through those hats in various fields, right, he's gotten a lot of acclaim here in the area, in any area that we've lived.
You were really good at plugging the various fields, and you know
Am I really?
You're doing a great job.
I'm sorry, it's such a good name.
No, that's great. Speaking of, can I do it like a very bad plug? Like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, that was good. Like we got.
No, that's terrible. You look at the camera, it's very blank, but the fourth wall, it's very corny.
Aren't you supposed to point somewhere? Where do you point now? Is there a point up?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
I don't think Lex had a point at all.
Did you hit the button on me?
I did.
You hit the button.
I did. Actually, did it on both of us. Actually,
Wow.
I had to set it up to hit the button because I felt like I was abusing the laughs and clap.
Already using the button.
I'm going to try my best to do a transition because my view on my pops is like. Not only does like you've talked about wears many hats at various fields, but also when we say he does a lot, he does a lot. I think you have never, in my lifetime, I don't think you've ever had just more, like less than 2 jobs. And if you have, you're always still doing something. You're working with the churches, you're working with theaters, you're helping people out. I remember one of the things that I think it was literally you were up for about like 48 hours straight, and you would pick me up from school sometime. But you just seemed also you're just moving. Like, you were fine. Right. And it makes sense at a certain point, but also the fact that we have a friend, which I'll leave his name, we'll call him Ben. I don't think I know anyone named Ben.
Okay.
Uncle Ben?
No.
We literally have to tell him that you were a clown for a while. You actually clowned Mr. Whistles.
That's true.
And we have to argue with our friend about our own pops. Like, this is what our life. He does not believe us.
That you were
and
a
you're
clown.
a clown.
To this day.
You're a clown and a taxi driver at the same time, which is terrifying.
And to be fair, I didn't drive cab dressed in my clown outfit.
You did once. You told me about that.
Really?
You told me that you
Maybe
came out from it. Right, you still had like I guess
the residue of
the remainders of clown on you.
That has happened. That has happened.
But man, it was a good taxi service. Everybody could get in there. Everybody just kept going out. Right?
Yeah, I was a Ringling brother. Anyway. But it was that was a part of life that you do. I can't remember when I first donned the makeup, and I remember looking in the mirror going, "What am I doing?" But it was like, there's no bad money. So it started with a family member asking me to just come in and do some music, and then the next year was put some makeup on. Yeah. And the next thing I went to a magic and costume store, and I found out they said, "Well, how much do clowns make?" Mm-hmm. And this was way back in the early '80s.
It starts with a red nose and a slippery slope from there.
Right. And the guy said, "They get $125 an hour." And I said, he said, "But a magic clown, makes $150 an hour." So clearly, I was going to become a magic clown. That's what I did. And,
I don't know the context for that, but for some reason, magic clown feels like you should still get paid more than just $25 more. Like it feels like I don't know how do you scale magic?
No, it was very it was very low. I started off with like, hey, my thumb is taking off, so it was very bad magic. So $25 would make sense. But the concept is $150, and that was like why not But
so take that, Ben. Yeah. Our dad was a clown.
Yeah, I was a clown. But just for the audience, we are not going to be spending all the rest of our episodes doing this. No, you can say that out loud. We don't care. We're going to wrap it up in 5 minutes. He's saying no, but we don't care because we don't know. No, but so we got a couple minutes, but we're not going to be spending every episode talking about ourselves in that manner. But we're just going to do the launching thing, and so you can see what we're going to, and we're going to bring our perspective. I'm an old man from 63. This is a young man from 91 and an even younger man from 95. And I know some of the things they know in terms of video games, but really none. And we'll be bringing our perspectives on whatever topic we choose. I think episode 01, what are we going to be talking about? What did we say?
Well, we'll be talking about our various fields.
Various fields?
Okay. Yeah, you plugged it in pretty well that time yourself.
Good.
There you go.
Very good. So
just adding more to this conversation, I would imagine that we're probably just going to be, building upon ourselves here at the studio. And just if there's anything that you guys have as a suggestion as to what we can bring to the table, not just in terms of conversation, but to up our game a little bit, because we're all very new at this, right? And we appreciate the outlook on our various fields from various fields that you may come from. So let us know what you wanted to bring in, and hopefully we can make this look more YouTube official. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Help.
Certainly, but to underscore what he said, and then once again say the like and subscribe thing. What did you say?
We're liking and subscribing.
So like and subscribe.
Down below the video somewhere.
Leave a comment.
Yeah. Please, if you have,
things.
we're going to tackle every subject matter, and we promise it will be done without the excellence of people that do the subject matter all the time. But we
assure you, it will be mediocre.
Yeah, that's right. Mediocrity is at least our.
That's
our
a big
baseline.
weird bar to end on, but I guess that's what we're ending on. Mediocrity, everybody. Various fields.
Mediocrity.
Let's take away from that. Okay?
All right, well, we'll thank everybody here. Thank you for joining us. Come back, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for being here at Various Fields.
Upward climb. Let's go.